Good evening, I'm Anna Jabłońska, and welcome to Poland Daily Business. According to Central Statistical Office GUS, trade deficit for Poland in the first 5 months of this year reached 1.5 billion zlotys. A year ago, statistics showed a surplus of 4.6 billion zlotys. From the beginning of this year to the end of May, Poland's exports totaled 372.2 billion zlotys, while imports were worth 373.7 billion. Poland intends to crack down on the sale of designer drugs. Cabinet ministers proposed changes to the law where anyone caught with a significant amount intended for their own use could face up to 3 years in jail, while suspects caught selling designer drugs could face up to 12 years in prison. Hospitals would be required to report cases where they treat people who have taken such substances. Finally, the Flaris LAR-1, a single-pilot, four-passenger personal jet unveiled 5 years ago, is set to begin flight tests. Conceived and manufactured in the city of Podgórzyn near Jelenia Góra by the company Metal Master, LAR-1 debuted at the 2013 Paris Air Show. The aircraft, built as the world's smallest business jet, will be equipped with the engine supplied by Williams International. The aircraft's cruising speed is about 437 miles per hour, and it has a maximum range of 1,990,000 miles. Its producers had set a $2 million price tag on the aircraft. Thank you for watching Poland Daily Business. Coming up next, Aleksander Wierzejski and his guests. Good night.
You are watching Poland Daily Business Edition. Our guest tonight is Piotr Palutkiewicz of Instigos Institute. Sir, welcome to our show.
Good evening.
We are watching the NATO summit in Brussels these days, and obviously the topic is Donald Trump's tough position on increase of the defense spending. To what degree this is beneficial to business?
Yeah, what's the most interesting thing on that issue is that Trump, before that summit, he switched the main issue of that summit from defending issue, from the weapon issue, to the business things, to the business issue. Obviously, Trump is a business guy, so he's trying to make business wherever he can and whenever he can. Surprisingly, Poland may benefit on Trump position on that negotiations. We have to point out that Trump, his main point is to make business. So he's trying to switch Germany's position on gaining the gas from Russia to United States. We have to know that the United States got a surplus of gas, so he's trying to find some new markets for those commodities.
Now, this will be jobs for United States, also jobs in weapon manufacturing sector in the United States. Europe has its own defense companies that are pretty much on the level of with Americans. So will the Europe lose in this business, in these deals?
It might benefit, but Donald Trump started a trade war around the world. He started a trade war with China. Now he's starting new bargaining in Europe. So the Germans will be the main opposition side of that negotiations. But surprisingly, Poland may benefit due to the Donald Trump position, because we've got an issue when it comes to the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and we may benefit on that negotiations, because, as we know, or all the audience know, that the Nord Stream pipeline 2 is a damage for our security, is a damage for our economy, and it's a damage to the European solidarity. So due to Trump help and due to Donald Trump position, that negotiations may change now, and German and Russia trade on that pipeline might not work in the end. So that's what Poland should look forward to, and I hope that pipeline won't be successful in the end.
Well, if you look at this conversation of Mr. Trump, his opposition to the Nord Stream 2 is obvious and very much visible. The question is to what degree this is a real business position, this is a real point, or this is a bargaining point, and then he will give it up, let's say, on Monday while speaking to Mr. Putin.
I would like to know the answer to that question too, because as we said in the beginning, that Donald Trump is a good trader, a good negotiator. So he's preparing his position in those negotiations, but by pointing out that issue. But in the end, maybe he will just get back with those issue, and in the end, nothing have changed, and he will fly to Russia, and all negotiations won't change anything, but in the end it's a good way to point out his point of view in the beginning, and to increase his position in the beginning of those summit, which we said in the beginning is changing and switching from the defending issue to economy issue. But as you said in the beginning of that conversation, those two areas are very closely connected, and we should know that defense is economy, and the economy may be connected very directly with the defense issues.
We will follow these things definitely very closely. And that was it for tonight's Poland Daily Business. Piotr Palutkiewicz was our guest, sir. Thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you very much.
And please watch us next time.